a nice thing to say, though.
All right, so now it's time for our featured speaker. And Nora, are you aware that we have a provision tonight? So you don't have to go too far back, but you have to stand up and go all the way to the back. We send our featured speaker all the way to the back. Just make sure
So far.
And Nora, do you know why we do that? Why do you think we do that?
Have me walk up.
Have me walk up.
So is that a good spot? I don't know.
No, you're the director of public relations. You know everything, or at least you should, right? Why do we do that, Marty?
To get the excitement out.
Get the excitement out.
To make the energy so you're visible throughout the room.
So that
Can I do this?
Give our featured speaker that grand
entry.
Okay, hang on.
Can I? Is it recording already? Is it recording? Because I knew this.
Yes. So today's featured speaker is Nora Finch. She is an entrepreneur and licensed esthetician. Did I say that right?
Esthetician.
Esthetician. Trying to spell that. That's pretty crazy. Here in Sacramento, California. And her presentation topic is pretty interesting. It's going to be flower essence therapy for stress relief and empowerment. You like empowerment, right? Who likes empowerment here? Who wants to feel empowered, right? The ladies are the first ones to raise their hands. Love that, right? Right, Rick? Right, Joanne? Okay. So, here's a little brief bio on her. Nora will be sharing some incredible information on how to naturally relieve stress, which in turn would tremendously increase your energy to feel more empowered. Nora is a licensed esthetician, certified in chemical peels, trained in microdermabrasion. I'm still doing this class. I didn't and I had to go through all this and I didn't butcher it. And dermophile application. Nora has affectionately served hundreds of clients as a professional esthetician in the Sacramento region since 2011. So without further ado, I'd like you all to please stand up and rise to your feet. Give a big warm cheer. Welcome to Nora Finch. I don't hear that. Everything is one. There you go. Yes. Everybody gets one from GNA, right?
Yes.
Right? She was like, what was I doing?
It's all good.
That's what it says. I'm probably only going to use like 2 sheets of these, of this, but still. Are you ready? This is going to be a tornado. So I am going to try to not look off my card so much, but it does help me keep on track. So, I do know what I'm talking about. Okay, so thank you, Elias, for providing this platform for us. I feel very fortunate that he's created this community for us, and he's doing it from his heart. So, thank you for that. So, who am I? I am an empowerment educator as well as a holistic esthetician. I've been doing that for 15 years. Most of my background, I'd say, in terms of the empowerment has been from life experience, but also I have been involved in self-defense training, body, mind, and spirit, so physical as well as fitness. So that's kind of the specialty, conflict resolution. And so that's where all that, I've integrated all that into my aesthetics business. Okay.
Wait.
Okay. Can everybody hear me good? Do I need to talk about this? Okay. Okay, this is my verbal assertiveness. Voice, right? Okay, this is going to get interesting. Okay, so how I'm going to start is laid out is I'm going to
stand in the center here.
Stand here. Okay. So just to kind of overview of what I'm doing is that I'm going to talk a portion on empowerment, then a little part on flower essences, and then what I do in my business. Okay. So, an intimate story. As a 15-year-old growing up in Pennsylvania, feeling rejected not only by my mother and society, forced me to empower myself. I felt I had to find a way to survive in my environment, where I felt so different. Beauty concepts from the media angered me and fueled my inadequacies of not feeling white enough, and other physical inadequacies, big nose, long neck, A cup for his eyes. All of this is what spawned my idea for my self-help guide for teens, though adults can also appreciate it. So what I wanted to read to you is, I left my book, it's on Kindle, but I left it in the coffee garden by my house. And somebody picked it up there, and she called me and told me how much it impacted her life. So I asked her to write a review. And so this touches my heart, so I have to read it. Okay. It's very flattering. Okay, Finch's booklet has become a source of guidance to me in efforts to nurture and love myself, especially during life's course of unfortunate circumstances and situations, particularly ones I cannot control. Though her writings are intended for a younger female audience, it can easily be a resource for adult women like myself. Reflections of self-esteem and the warped media resonate with me as a lifestyle model in the entertainment industry. I have learned that the images and lifestyle in the industry sales are unattainable and focuses on ideas of minimal importance such as material things and consumerism. Finch's suggested affirmations and I love myself exercises are great tools I have implemented into my life regularly. Her book has influenced how I treat physical, emotional, spiritual self, others, and the planet. I have grown to cultivate relationships that support communities in need and live with purpose and happiness. Ultimately, I have learned that living life in high self-esteem, despite what is happening around us, is possible with love for ourselves and the others. So I love that it really affected me. So, if any of you are interested in reading more, it's actually something you can just flip through. I wrote it so that actually girls could tear it out and like carry with them and put it in their car and whatever. But if you are interested in it, email me and I'll send to you. Okay, so the buzzword of empowerment and what this means to me, in my opinion, is to rise above. Think for yourself, teach yourself everything you were never taught, challenge all the given conditions to believe. Say no even when you feel obligated to say yes. Learn to be more assertive so you can handle uncomfortable situations. I see it as becoming the true you who takes control of your life, the you who is no longer a caged bird. So, personal stories, you might laugh about this because they're silly things, but to me, it's empowering. You're probably going to like how sheltered was this girl. Driving sick, changing the oil in my car, giving birth with no meds, doing a push-up, telling family I'm going to do my own thing on Mother's Day, learning to say no without following it up with a reason, and learning how to physically fix myself. Because what I will say is, I would recommend for a lot of women to learn to be able to fix yourself physically because it does something to you psychologically. And that not backing down, even in verbal conversations with people that you know you're not afraid because you know you can fight. Even though, right, you're defending yourself, you're not fighting, so, you know what I mean? So, okay, so there are many facets of empowerment in our life, but I know for me, I can list all sorts of things in what has empowered me in my life. So, how do you get to this place of change other than life just kind of bringing lessons to you is we have to have a burning desire for it, right, to want to change, or life is going to bring the lessons to you. Because if you have something in your heart you want to work on, like my next speed right is to climb the rope from the ceiling, I always want to do that. I can't, I need no upper body strength. So I want to be able to do that, so that's my next thing. So yes, I have a burning desire to do that, but not right now, like I'm taking a break. I'm working out for 2 weeks. So having supportive tools, like-minded friends and mentors, books, and then I'll say again that as far as practices, praying is to me one of the most underestimated and underrated practices in daily living, and it doesn't have to be religious-based or God-based. Like just talking to yourself. And then meditation, 5 minutes a day, even just in your car. Just is good enough. Just some sort of focused meditation. Because for a long time I never had any sort of altar area to focus on, and I actually created one that I liked. You could put pictures or whatever, family pictures, whatever it is, meaningful things, candles. You could use your lantern, I don't know, your fireplace or something like that. It really doesn't matter. So it allows you to create and focus space. You're not walking around with all these ideas and just So, the other tool that I've integrated and I've used for the past probably 5 or so more years are flower essences. So they are another tool to integrate in your life. This is not a new thing. It's 40,000 years old plus. Australian Aborigines used it to heal themselves. It came to the forefront though with Edward Bach. You'll see some of this stuff in the co-op. And he realized that he was able to feel his emotions. He would just hold his hand over flowers and be able to heal his thoughts and emotions. So that was cool. So basically, it's nothing esoteric. If you're a person that does not believe that the body is and is energy, it might be something new to you. But basically, like Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine, your body has energy meridians, and so the essences penetrate through your pathways to help heal illness and disease. Which basically, if your body is out of balance, this is a holistic way of thinking that when your body is out of balance, it breeds disease. Okay, how they're made, just because this is interesting. Okay, so they put flowers in water in the sun for several hours, and the water captures the vibration of the flowers. Then they remove the flowers, and they bottle the water and preserve it with brandy. And you can spray it on sheets. You can take it under your tongue. You can put it in body moisturizer or anything like that. But the key to using them is that you have to use them regularly. They'll produce very subtle differences if you're aware, but it takes time. It's not a quick fix. And this is what they look like. So this is a company that I really like and respect. My mentor, she's an acupuncturist out at Grass Valley. So tinctures, I think, are more potent than just the regular essence. This is a blend of essential oils and the petals, so tinctures. And you can use these in products also, and then the essence itself. So there's no scent. The difference between these two is that there is no scent. Essential oil does not have scent. I'm sorry. Essential oil has a scent, essence does not. So people have the option of taking drops, but I wanted it to be easy to use, so I put it in product so that it's easy for you to grow numbers or whatever, however you want to use it. And the one product that I made for men is Aftershave Balm Serum. So the one that I custom blended for you guys is Empowerment. So Empowerment, this is very brightening and energizing, and it allows you to get into being free to do your true self. Exactly what it is. But it's a blend of a bunch of different flowers. And then Rose is spiritual embodiment of love, of course. This can get you very emotional. I have been in a sitting, resting state and had a thought and brought me to tears. So it's once you enter into this sort of stuff, you start learning a lot about how your body does things you didn't know. So that's what they look like.
You made it.
No, I just my own skincare and I put it in there.
Okay.
And all the stuff I use is natural. Not all of it's natural. Most importantly, essences. Any pretty much issue you can think of, like I want to say to fix it. This is relationship essence. So this helps us in relationships with each other. And yes.
Gross of it.
You need a gallon.
Right, yeah, bathe in it. Yes, you can put it in the bathtub too, and you only need a couple drops. So the whole thing of this is it's how often you use it, not how much you use it. But anything from fear of public speaking, you have some social phobias, there's pretty much an essence for everything. It's kind of overwhelming. So I try to keep my stock low, because there's so many different things that you can use it for. So we went over that. And now, like I said, it just depends on how long, what I was going to do for people is that I think at least 1 month is good to be on something and then transition to it because it's going to take time. And with my facial, so what I'm doing with that is that somebody comes in, I assess their needs, then I do a little neck massage on essences, then the essential oils. I do a mini facial that's pretty much all face massage, like which is very different from what I've done in the past, which is all treatment related. Now this is really gonna relax them. And then at the end I recommend a blend for them and how you should do it. So now a fun little different thing for you guys is I have a little form that I would like you to fill out now. You don't have to give this to me. This is in regards to your business and empowering you. You don't have to give this to me. This is just for you to think about later if you want. But if you want something custom made for you in terms of this, then I can do that for you. And so I can send it to you or whatever is easy. And do it at GNA and I give it to you or something like that. So I would like you to take, they're just 6 questions. Does everybody have a pen? Or that pen?
Thank you.
Yeah. What?
Participate. Isn't it fun? Then you can figure it out. Okay. And I some of these are just mastermind.
This is perfect, huh?
Yeah.
So you're actually covering that part of it. Some of these are really good.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Yeah.
can view the top.
Yeah. I can stay calm.
Oh, well, I had on all the other things. He's very good. Yeah, essentially I could do
Is everybody? Is everybody finished?
Have it all, okay?
I've done all that.
What?
I've done all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it good? Did it make you think? This is why journaling is so important because even though you gotta take time to do it, like keep it open or something because it really does help. we really, or does anybody want to share feedback?
Okay, to touch on number 4. On number 4, where it says, is there a fear holding you back from achieving, pursuing your dream or dreaming a career? And that is, quite honestly, the fear of successfully creating a team that I would be responsible for. Do you know what I mean?
Like employees?
No, like I've gotten someone started in a venture, a business, and I'm not totally responsible for someone, but I feel like creating a massive amount of success creates more responsibility for me, and that I think is kind of a wall for me. Even though someone should be doing their own things, learning on their own and all that, I feel like I should be coaching and responsible for their success. Even though I know that's not what's taught in network marketing and other things, that's a fear of mine, and that's holding me back because what that success looks like for me in a balancing life.
So just a collaborative partner, you feel responsible.
Right. Like being responsible for getting somebody started. Let's say Lori and I, let's say we partner together in a business. I will feel responsible for her success. And whether or not she's doing the steps to become successful herself, I feel like if I were to partner with her, that her success or lack thereof is on me, not on her.
Okay. Yeah, this is a customer that you need for this for network marketing. Because how it sounds like maybe like is it a caretaker sort of thing, feeling like, because for some sort like you're feeling obligated, you should make a choice. The people around you are making their choices to be involved. So there's some pressure to putting on yourself, right? So that's gonna take it off. So there is an essence that would help with that. I think you're just gonna feel more comfortable with that sort of thing. But because a lot of stress is right, you put yourself in you're the one doing that. So when you think about it like that, that doesn't really help them really. But for me, understanding helps me understand. So I think just that are even aware that that's the issue. And for her, as far as if you're worried about her succeeding or failing, like you're already really confident and like what you want to do, like if you could be a role model, if you can see that for her. So as far as like I don't think there's anything to worry about or something to hold you back.
It's real for you.
It's real for me in that let's pretend I created a large goal. Not from a fast recruiting perspective or creating
Golden State goes ahead. Golden State's going to win.
Our collective success and how that puts pressure on me to help everyone succeed.
So is it feared success?
Yes.
So you have a feared success?
Yes.
But also, I would say trusting that they're going to do their part, that we have the the wherewithal to assess that I want this person on my team because I can see that they're going to, and they may not. I mean, who knows? But it's a matter of trusting. Believing in them helps them too. Right.
Them more than me.
And just picking the people that you feel represent like your ideals. So, I mean, if you feel wrong, then you don't any wrong about that person. It's kind of just like the patterns of the people you can choose around you, and maybe you're attracted to some certain ones so that you don't repeat, right? If they're not going to be employees, right? These are just people you have. They just focus on.
I'd like to know a lot of people suffer from that. When you, I don't care if it's network marketing or traditional business or direct sales, whatever, when you bring somebody into a business or become a coach or whatever, you give up your right to be out of your But their responsibility is to let you mentor them. if you're having a difficult time because you are so obliged to make sure they're successful, the very first thing I would advise you to do is to make sure you have a mentor that keeps you straight.
I do.
Because it's the biggest reason why, I don't care if it's traditional business or network marketing or any other business, you'll see people fail that are incredibly talented because they don't have a mentor that's already done it, helping them. I see people all the time in a different area. I don't know what you do, but in network marketing, you see it all the time where people decide that their next door neighbor or their best friend who got them into the business, and they're gone in 2 months. But that's their mentor. There's two people, and none of them know what they're doing.
Right.
Okay? So how could they possibly have any success?
Right.
But when they go out and find somebody that has what they want, and they're willing, as long as it's ethical and legal.
Right.
Then you have to see her.
Very much.
But as long as it's ethical and legal, if you will do exactly what your mentor tells you to do, everything else will work out. And when you have somebody in your team, it's they move and you move. It's not you move and they move. So they come to you, and then you help them. And then they come to you, and you help them. If you're trying to reach out to them to make them succeed, you'll never be successful. And so there's really a psychology to this thing. And if you have a mentor that you trust and already has what you have, then you're way ahead of the game. And if you don't, pat them on the back and say, "Great, we're finally."
So just to piggyback with the legal perspective, not to offer legal advice, it's claimed, right? Yeah, right. But what you're doing is coming to agreement about what your roles are. You like each other, so you agree on that. And then you define those roles, which you've already just suggested might be part of that definition. And that is the making of a contract as opposed to a handshake. And that's where there's another link in the chain. I just think it's a beautiful piece of jewelry that you just add all these things to your skill sets, and they're not overwhelming. You're just wearing them.
I remember when I first started, fear of failure was really major block for me. And then fear of success and then back again. And I realized there's a relationship between the two. And when I was in that fear of success place, it was okay, I'll succeed, and then still potentially fail. And sometimes that failure would be because of other things that I would control, including other people. So a big part of it was just knowing that thinking that I succeed.
Does that make sense to you? Okay.
Nice. Now that you got us all the way here, and I would use what you have, or I am using what you have, same thing as a gift. Let that fuel you, and now you can carry her or him with you. Because now you do have the passion, you do have past the fear, past the succeed, failure thing, right? And I'm there too all the time. I never want to step out of myself anymore. I've just spent like 5 years stepping out of myself, and it was freaking crazy. Now I have to control it, find what I want. I look at mentors like him, her, all of them in here to me are giants. So when I come in here and I hear the same thing, I go, I'm not the only one. So yeah, no, it feels good to stand up, be a leader, and then assume that role and go, now what? How do I take the rest who are following to get the mentor to up and down the chain? It's very fluent now, but it took a long time to feel this way.
So it can happen.
Yeah, it will happen. It will, and you'll know, you'll feel it. You'll have those moments.
She's had.
Yeah, you'll have those.
Sorry, I'm just gonna wrap it up, and then if you guys want to talk more.
It's very good.
That was good. I think so. I would love for you to expand on that. If you could steal the floor.
Oh, no, that's okay, because I'm kind of done a little bit. But the bottom line, though, of that and it's fear. Like, that's what we can do.
And the oil can have essences. This is incredible.
Essences, they really do balance us emotionally and help through life transitions, so trauma. And essences also essences also can be like shock. I have an internal shock or things that happen to my heart, something like that. I just know for me, the stuff that has happened, or stuff I see in my sleep, because there's also sea essences and they really work on opening up their spiritual consciousness. And so I have experienced things in my sleep.
Did you say that the essence of the flower is a vibration?
It's a vibration.
An oil which has an
Extracted
and constituents and all that, but
it's different.
so it's a very
Different process. You're just soaking. They're just
More
soaking
present?
the sun
Is it more available?
to your body.
Yeah, I mean, is it
They both penetrate
Right.
bloodstream and pathways, so it's just a different because it's energy. Where the oil is
still
considered right. It processes it, but it's not the energy of the flower, the vibration. The way it's transmitted. It's fascinating to me. Okay, so just to recap, what I do, right? So nurture. I'm gonna do a facial and now massage and do all these therapeutic things to remind you you're worth it, right? To help you with also in other facets of how I do this, integrating it is teaching self-worth through writing exercises and stuff like that. That's all the time. So remind you you're worth it because you exist. That's all you need to know. Cultivate it, help you foster it through seminars, coaching, wellness, living as a way of life, make it a priority, right? Your mental health, and then empower you to integrate it and maintain it in your daily life. So even if you come to me a few times, you can still keep practicing in one way or another. So that's what I do. So with my business, I do recommend these facial treatments or any facial treatment once or twice a month. And then also products. So same thing as well. If somebody cannot continue to use it very long and they want to still see also because if you come for the essence facial once a month, I need you to take something home so that you can continue to use it like I was saying on a daily basis. It's not like you just use it one day here and then in 2 weeks. Like if you want to facilitate. And another example of just how it's helped me. So parenting has made me very irritable, even still 7 years later. So this, I really noticed a difference in my balance and communications. And the way people live here in California, I've lived here now 15 years, this independence of this lifestyle, this hurry for nothing attitude and this sort of thing, this will help that. So it'll be subtle, but you'll notice, like for me, I could be in a situation where I'm at the bed, the dog's barking, the kids talking loud, they're asking me for a bill, and I have to fill out a form, and I'm just like non-reactive, like I'm just calm, I'm not, changing my tone or whatever. So that's a really good example of how I saw my life. So there's many other stories of people I've had that help you with physical stimulations, all kinds of stuff. So the facial special that I'm offering is normally $97 on offering it for $47. And then if you do want any product here, the men's balm that I have is those are still $50. The spray is a body spray and a toner, so that you can really and spray it throughout the day and both send it and so that's yes, sir.
It's also a way to grow a healthy plant.
What's that?
Cultivating is also a way to grow a healthy plant.
Oh yes, right. Creating the roots.
And the soil is taking your body to.
So anybody that wants to ask, if you have any questions or just wondering more about anything at all, I'm hoping to maybe be getting on to let you all know on a radio show that wants to insider. So I'll be going with expert and real estate people to hopefully get involved with some defense thinking and emotional awareness and all that. I just evolved to another level, healing, and now to empowerment. So, I hope y'all, thank you for listening to me and being interested in this. And also, my place is also Altar Garden and professional, so I'm just 5 minutes away. Right down the street. Thank you.
Thank you, Nora. That was a great group presentation in front of a networking group. Fantastic job. Wouldn't you say, everybody?
1055, right? Is what you-
Yes.
What day is it?
Probably this.